Hey everybody, today we have to go to Animal Trax, which is a pet store in Madison, if you've ever been there. I have to get some food for my geckos. I think I've mentioned this, but I have two geckos. One right here, her name is Cheesecake. She's a crested gecko. So I also have a little surprise to pick up from a friend, which just so happens to be able to work out directly with our class. So stay tuned. Interested? Oh, what is it? We got a new species here. Oh. No. Okay, so we're back home. I got this package from my friend in the mail. She's a grad student at UAH in the biology department, and she normally does research in caves with salamanders, but they came across something very interesting. This is something called sewer lice. So these were found in Huntsville, Alabama, and they are little, I don't know if they're actually related to lice, but they're these little things that live in the sewers here around in Huntsville, and they found them in other places, but we've never found them in Huntsville before, so this is really exciting. They feed on things, poop. Yeah, they feed on poop. If you can see here, this is sewer water. Sewer water is not normally this light colored or see-through. These guys clean up the water. Oh, now you can see they move around a little bit. Interesting little fellows. Now my friend told me that they're actually very nutritious because they turn all of that waste into protein, carbohydrates, whatever you need. Oh, here he goes. Now my friend said that they have a lot of specimen. Apparently there's tons of these down in the sewers. So she said that if I wanted to, there's one up there, they're safe to eat. Mmm, a little crunchy. Doesn't taste bad, kind of sweet. She also said that this water that came from the sewer, mind you, pretty clean now that they've been in there, so might as well try it. We are scientists. Not too bad. Alright, so I hope I haven't grossed you out too much. Sorry. I have a confession to make. These aren't really sewer lice. They're raisins. They're raisins that I put into ginger ale. Now, you're probably wondering why I tricked you with this. I want to get the wheels turning. Wanted you to get thinking about what these things were. How intriguing was it that you thought that we had a new species here in Huntsville? Now, if I was actually a scientist who was working on these and they were a new species that we hadn't found, I wouldn't need them. I wouldn't need any species, especially if it came from the sewers. So, this week we talked about misconceptions, misunderstandings about what science is and what actually does science mean? What's involved in the process of science? Science often starts with exactly this, observation. Somebody finds something, they want to know more about it, they study it. Now, a lot of you indicated in your surveys that you didn't think that science required a lot of creativity, and some of you did, but what would you do if you were a scientist that was more of an ecologist, a field scientist, looking for new species or just studying your own species that you always study, and you found something like this little sewer lice down there? It might require some out-of-the-box thinking. You don't always know what you're going to find because we're not searching for truth with science. We're making observations. That's another misconception, is that science is just a search for the truth. And that's not exactly true. Now, the most missed question on that survey actually had to do with what a hypothesis actually is. A hypothesis is not just an educated guess. We'll talk more on Monday. Are safe to eat